Hello, I received your question about the problem on page 322, number 13. It asks you to solve this system of equations using a method called substitution. If you look in your book on page 308, you'll see that they give you an algorithm, or they give you steps to the substitution method. The first step is to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. And so we have two equations here. We want to just pick one of them and solve for either x or y. Well, if you have a variable with a coefficient of 1, that's an easy one to solve for. So, the coefficient of this x is 1. The coefficient of this y is 2. Coefficient of x here is 2. Coefficient of y here is 3. So this top equation here, I don't rewrite it over here, it would be real easy to solve it for x. All we have to do is subtract 2y from each side. And then I'll have that x equals 4 minus 2y. So I've solved the top equation for x, and that's what the first step says to do. Step 2 is where this algorithm gets its name, this procedure. You will substitute what we found into the other equation. So we worked with the top one. The other equation would be the bottom one. We want to replace x with what I found, 4 minus 2y. So we want to come right below this, and instead of writing x, you're going to write 4 minus 2y. Then I'll recopy the rest of the equation. And now I have an equation with just one variable that I can solve for y. That step 3 says, this part of steps 2, it says go ahead and finish solving this equation. So I need to distribute the 2, be 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4. Combine my variables here, and being careful, it's negative 4y plus 3y be minus y. Subtract 8 from each side. So what's your signs? Minus y negative 1, and multiply or divide each side by negative 1. So y would be a positive 1. Okay, step 3 says take this, what you find here, go back and substitute it in to find x. So if I come up here and replace y with 1, I'll get the value of x. So it'd be 4 minus 2, or 2. So the value of x is 2. So the solution is, the system is 2, 1, and I found it by substitution. The last step, they recommend that you check your answer. You take the 2, 1, and you put it in each of these equations and test it to make sure it works. So if I go to the top equation here to check it, I would replace x with 2 and y with 1. And that should be, I'm working on this top equation, putting in 2 and 1 for x and y. And so 2 plus 2 equals 4. So that checks. And if I go to the bottom equation, substitute in 2 for x and 1 for y, it'll be 2 times 2 plus 3 times 1. This time I get 7. 4 plus 3, that is 7. So it checks. So this is an example of using the substitution method. Hope this helps.